Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the UMX P-51 by E-Flite, I think. I haven't checked the box. I can't remember. Shut up. Anyways, so this is going to be pretty much just a review, a generic review. Okay, anyways, let's start. So this is the bind and fly version, so you will need I'm garbage at this, I know. Anyways, so you're gonna need two things to actually start flying. Well, technically three things. You'll need three things to fly. You'll need a radio, and in my case it is a DX6 Gen 2, I believe, and batteries. Now the battery I have here is a 2S 7.4 volts 2800 milliamp hour battery. Now this is pretty good. In the minus 40 weather we have right now, it lasts about 2.5 to 5 minutes. So I wouldn't fly in minus 40 unless you live in the South Pole, or unless you live in Antarctica, then it's probably fine, but I don't know. Anyways, these batteries are actually pretty good. Yeah, like in summer, in warmer weather than minus 40, you can probably get almost 5 to 10 minute battery times. So, let us take out this battery. I was just using it to just test, I don't know. And actually, a quick tip, I put some tape on the battery hat because I found that if you don't have any Velcro on your batteries, like this one doesn't, it'll always fall out. So I just put some tape there to hold it in. So let's plug this in, shall we? Make sure your radio's on first, because I don't really want you to have this thing flying away when you first bought it. Okay, the wrong way. I'm kind of, okay. So, now I'm going to do the binding procedure. There. So, this plane has AS3X on it, which means, so this is a little bit more, this is different than safe. Like what safe is it'll automatically sort of stabilize you in the air, I guess you could say. But AS3X more protects you from wind and other stuff like that, from hitting a branch of a tree and it starts does that. So you can see the ailerons, if I bank it, it won't automatically do anything, but if I do the sharp banking, you can see the ailerons sort of go a little bit wonky. But yeah, this thing's thrust is actually pretty good. For being such a small motor, it's pretty powerful and very fast. I would like to say that. So, it doesn't seem very fast, but I don't know how much this thing exactly weighs, but this thing's pretty light. This thing's almost coming out of my hands. Now, ground tracking is pretty good. And yeah, don't fall off the table. But yeah, so that is a pretty good airplane for aerobatics. But one thing I will point out is one aileron goes higher than the other. So if you're ever going to replace servos or add bigger ones in there, that is something I would point out, is that one has to go higher than the other. Now, I will also point out that the hinges on this thing are not very good. I have found that the ailerons hinges is broke pretty early on. But that's pretty much all I have to say about the control surfaces. Second thing is, there is a very annoying whirring noise coming from the motor. You might have heard that earlier, when I was running it up. That gets pretty annoying, when you're in the air. But now I have notes on my phone. That's why I'm constantly checking. The tendencies of this aircraft. It doesn't really have any bad habits except for one. You need a lot of down elevator to combat this. Now, I don't know if it's just mine specifically, but I had to put quite a bit of down elevator into the trim to the point where I just reset the servo, because at first it was like tolerable, but as you keep flying, I was like, I need more and more trim. And it got to the point where I was maxed out on trim, and I just had to manually reset the servo. So that's pretty much all for that. There's another thing I wanted to say. You can remove the landing gear. So the tail wheel just plugs into that little doohickey there. And then the main wheels, you have to unplug the gear covers, I guess. And then you can pop out the wheel. And people are texting me, shut up. Okay. So that's pretty much how you do that. So I'm just going to take them out for the rest of this. No, I'm not, because I want to put it back down. So, yeah, ground shacking is pretty good. I don't know if I said that earlier, but I'm pretty sure I did. I don't care. So it can turn actually quite a bit on a dime. I was actually just testing it in our kitchen here. It can turn pretty quickly. And oh, there we go. So yeah, this plane, I would say, it for sure is not for a beginner. I will say that. This thing does not handle well, because like, this thing is very snappy. I'll say that. So like when you're in the air, I don't know if it's the Expos or it's the Expo, but like it's sort of like you have a very, very slim amount of sort of like control surface this way, but then all the rest of it is like up, or like full deflection, I guess. But now the price point. This thing's actually quite cheap for a bind and fly micro like this. This thing's only 175 Canadian dollars. Yes, I'm in Canada. I don't know if that's fairly cheap, but it's a lot cheaper than all the other like ultra micros and stuff that I've seen at our hobby store. I will post a separate flight video of this sometime in the near future. Probably not near future, but sometime in the future, probably around like springtime. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. Did I talk about the speed? I think I did. Yeah, this thing goes pretty fast. I hope you know that. But yeah, the three things you need before you buy this is a transmitter, a battery, and a charger. I think I forgot to mention that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say for this review. Yeah. Oh, one last thing. I forgot to say this. The landing is kind of difficult because this thing, it stalls fairly fast. So like you'll be flying like this, you cut the motor, it'll be flying fairly fast, then it just loses all its energy in one go, sort of. It's really weird and I don't like it. So landing can be quite hard. You have to land fairly fast, but that's really all I have to cover for this review. Well, stay tuned for more videos, guys, and I will see you next time.